Hello, and welcome to the third episode.
Can you believe it?
The third episode.
I am so happy. Welcome to the Fab Live with Deb and Ryan. I'm Deb.
I'm Ryan.
All right.
Welcome back, Deb. It's great to get back together again.
Oh, absolutely.
Do this. Well, there's been a lot going on.
Yes,
as
there
there's
ever.
always. In 1 week, it's amazing how many events happen, how much news hits. But let's start with entertainment.
Entertainment. Well, let me tell you something. I have been watching, or trying to watch, The Real Housewives of D.C., and I just don't find them terribly interesting.
Oh.
I think they're very self-absorbed. The storyline is of really no consequence. And I mean, you have this, one girl who doesn't eat and who's skinny and has a problematic husband and... it's just not that interesting. I don't think the characterizations. And then Kat, who's from England, she has a very thick accent and a very low voice. Have you noticed? She's very difficult to understand.
Yeah. I just don't think it has quite the oomph that the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Or New York.
New York.
New York are my favorites. Hello.
New York's your favorite?
New York is my favorite.
I really enjoy Atlanta as well.
Well, Atlanta,
for one reason or another, I really enjoy Atlanta.
Well, Atlanta is the most amusing
really
because they are the ultimate drama queens.
They are
right?
divas, right?
Oh my God!
Aren't they like the epitome of diva?
Yes, diva delicious. Okay.
Well, the other entertainment news I want to talk about was I happened to get on to E! Entertainment News today, checking it out, and I saw that Sarah Palin was on Dancing with the Stars last night, so I watched the little clip.
That.
Well, I mean, she's kind of popping up everywhere. But you know what I thought was interesting is the host did not introduce her as the former governor of Alaska.
How did she introduce her?
A guest political analyst or guest political commentator.
Well, that's
like
Hollywood for you.
I know. So her role is changing now. I've noticed. She's just such an interesting face. She's beautiful, though.
She's a beautiful
She
woman.
is so beautiful.
How is her daughter doing?
I watched the first episode, and it was interesting. I mean, I don't think she was too bad. What was interesting is she dressed up as Sarah Palin.
Yes.
Oh, and you saw this? And, had, the American flag. And then she kind of took it off and was, shimmying everywhere.
Oh, my God.
So it was very interesting. But Sarah Palin seemed to, receive the show really well. And
well, good for Sarah. And I'm so glad she was there to support her daughter.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like she's having a great deal of fun.
Who was the first one to get eliminated?
Oh.
Because I haven't been watching.
Oh, I did hear about this. I don't remember.
Oh,
but they thought Michael Bolton should have gone, but he didn't.
Wasn't it the Hoff?
It was the Hoff.
It was the Hoff.
It was the Hoff.
I was really surprised at that.
I know. I thought he would have a really good fan base.
Absolutely.
So anyway, it's interesting.
It's
Sarah
interesting.
Palin,
Moving
you're
on.
beautiful. Keep doing what you do.
So what's next on our agenda?
Next on the agenda, fashion.
Fashion.
Let's talk about fashion.
Well, fashion, the hot look for the fall is the military-inspired clothing, and I have one jacket on.
Is this not fabulous?
But it comes in all different modes, you can get short jackets, long jackets, you can get overcoats. Military inspired. And another big thing are ruffles, of course. But I don't like to overdo the ruffles.
Yeah.
Because too many ruffles just look too ruffly or something. I don't know, but...
yeah. But I think the ruffles, what era would that be from?
Victorian era.
Right?
Right.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, this is kind of a Victorian blouse.
Right.
Because it's studded with little seed pearls.
I would totally wear the ruffles from the Victorian
Well, I do love them. It's just that when you get a little older for women... You don't want to go too ruffly. I mean, I think the ruffles look good on the younger girls. I mean, I do I bought one ruffle blouse.
Yeah.
But I'd wear it with a black suit. Yeah. Or something like that.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, because...
But they're making these ruffles in all different colors.
Well, they
so,
are.
you know, camel is the color
Yes,
of the
I
season.
know.
And black ruffles with camel.
And plaid. Cool. Plaid is really
Plaid is in. You know, Tommy
totally
Hilfiger, who I mentioned
and I love your plaid shirt.
Oh, you like my plaid shirt?
I love that.
Thank you. I love this color green.
I love that color green, too.
I don't know what
As a matter of fact, it's on my walls upstairs.
See? Fabulosity.
Yes.
But I want to go back to military inspired because I really enjoy this clothing. The military inspired.
Yes.
I have several shirts. I wish I would have worn one today, but
so we have to coordinate better in the future.
We do. But I love it. And I wonder, you know, they say fashion is a representation of society.
Yes, it is.
And fashion sort of marks where society's going. And, you know, we have been in this sort of
war forever.
Right. So you wonder if...
Yeah, but you know something? You know, ever since I was a little girl, it seems like the threat, I've lived under the threat of war all my life.
Isn't that interesting?
From the Cold War on. I mean, I can remember the Cuban Missile Crisis when I was a wee little girl, and my parents stocking up on canned goods. And then, you know, that whole Soviet threat, and then the Soviet threat then became terrorism, and now for the last 15 years, we've been living under the threat of terrorism. There's always some kind of threat.
It's interesting.
Yeah, but it kind of keeps us off balance, don't you think?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of terrorism, and, you know, and we, you know, I think you would agree with me, Deb, that terrorism exists everywhere.
It does.
But in the news, and, you know, the big highlight from the American news is Iran.
Wow.
And what goes on in Iran. So you wanted to comment a little about Iran and
well, I just find it appalling that we allowed President Ahmadinejad to come to the United States. I know that he was appearing at the United Nations, but for me, I mean, the United Nations is kind of a suspect organization anyway. And what really riled me is that he comes over here and he meets with the most radical elements of our society. This is a man who has vowed to absolutely destroy Israel. He is developing nuclear power, nuclear energy, supposedly for peaceful purposes, with the help of Russia. So, you know, I mean, he's a very, very radical personality.
Yeah.
And it makes me very ill at ease when we give people this carte blanche to come over and speak at the United Nations.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. But isn't this
and then, wait a minute, his speech at the United Nations, he said, and as a matter of fact, some of the United States delegates walked out, said that the United States had created 9/11, that it was a conspiracy. I mean, this is so far from the truth. It is ridiculous to even fathom or even consider believing such nonsense. So I was very, very happy that our delegates walked out in protest.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, absolutely. No, that's okay. I was, you know, there's so much controversy about him.
Yes.
You know, all internationally, not just within our country. But isn't this the second time he has spoken at United Nations?
Oh, absolutely.
Within like a year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's getting a lot of platform time, I guess you could say, to make his voice. And, you know, I wonder, should United Nations be in the United States?
Well, I think the United Nations actually should close down. Now, mind you, I know that there are departments in the United Nations that do very, very good work, especially for children and for poverty and things of this nature. But, you know, I mean, the United Nations is also suspect for being a nest of spies. So, you know, one has to balance these things, but I think it has outlived its usefulness.
Yeah, and I also think that, you know, while it is useful in many departments, like you said.
Yes.
That countries are now sort of ignoring what they say. You know, I mean, they're acting before going to the United Nations. So I don't know how effective they are right now.
I know.
Which worries me, though.
Yes.
But moving on.
Yes.
let's talk about North Korea.
Oh, Kim Jong-il is supposed to be ill.
Yes, he is.
Kim Jong-il is ill.
Yes. At a young age,
dictators
only
seem to live
68.